I'm Anil Kumar, and here is a very good test problem from Introduction of Calculus. Given limit of function f of x as x approaches 3 is equals to minus 2, and limit of function g of x as x approaches 3 is equal to 7. Use the limit properties to find limit of function 2f of x plus g of x divided by minus 4 square root of g of x as x approaches 3. Show all steps and properties. So you can pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestion. Well, this question is from properties of limits, and each and every step should be followed by a reason to get full marks. Otherwise, you can lose a lot of marks in this particular question. So let's begin with the function itself. It is given in the quotient form. Limit 2 times f of x plus g of x divided by minus 4 square root of g of x. So it is given in the quotient form. So we will apply the quotient rule. Numerator, we can apply the product rule, and then we also have the radical root here. So all these properties should be combined to solve this particular question. Okay, so let's begin by writing it and applying the rules one by one. So we can write the function as limit of x approaching 3. Let's copy the function first. 2 of f of x plus g of x divided by minus 4 square root of g of x. Now, if you see, we can have limit of each function in the numerator as combination of their limits. So we could write this as limit of x approaches 3 of 2 times f of x, let me write this first, plus limit of x approaches 3 of g of x divided by limit of x approaches 3 minus 4 square root g of x. So at this stage we have applied two properties, right? One is that the limit of sum is sum of limits, right? So we have applied sum of limits, and that is the quotient of limits, right? So we have applied quotient of limits, right? Now we will apply the constant times the limit, and also we'll apply, that is the product, correct? So we will apply these limits now and expand it further, or rewrite it, or simplify it, whatever you may say. So now we can write this expression as limit 2 times f of x. Now 2 is a constant, so we can write this as 2 times limit of the function as x approaches 3. Correct? So that is the first expression. So we have applied the product by a constant. The second one here is limit of g of x as x approaches 3. Now we are given this limit as 7, so we could just write 7 here, okay, divided by limit of minus 4 times. So minus 4 is a constant, so we can take it outside, minus 4, and inside we can write limit x approaches 3. Now we have this radical limit, that this could be the limit of square root of the limit of g of x. You get the idea, right? So that is how it is. Now let's open this bracket. So 2 times limit of f of x, we are given limit of function f of x as x approaches 3 is minus 2. So we could write this as 2 times minus 2 plus 7 divided by minus 4, and limit of g of x is given to us as 7. So we could write this as square root of 7. Correct? And that is equals to, now we can simplify this particular expression. We get minus 4 plus 7 divided by minus 4 square root 7, right? And that is 3 over minus 4 square root 7. Now that is how you could solve this particular question, right? So now it is very important to specify and say what limit you are applying, right? So we can say, for example, here we said limit of roots, right? So limit of root of the function is equals to limit of root of the function, right? So that is how you can have limit of roots here. And here we have multiplied by a constant, which I've already said. So multiplied by a constant. So constant times the limit, right? So that is this rule, which we applied twice, and then we applied limit of roots, or radical, okay? So these are the different properties of limits which we applied to solve our question, and then we substituted the limits as you have seen. So in such question, it is kind of important that you should actually go step by step in the test, keep on writing reason for each step on the right side. That helps to get full marks. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.